Rough Night stars Scarlett Johansson, Kate McKinnon, Jillian Bell, Zoe Kravitz, and Ilana Glazer. Thanks, Google. And is written and directed by the creators of Broad City, a show that I've personally never heard of before this movie, and is about a group of 5 girls who get together for Scarlett Johansson's bachelorette weekend, and during this night they accidentally kill a male stripper. And the majority of this movie is them trying to hide this dead body to make sure that they do not get in trouble for something that they did not mean to do. And I feel like the summer's been lacking in the comedy genre especially. Snatch was funny-ish, but it wasn't really a great comedy film, and Baywatch just wasn't really funny whatsoever. So I was really looking forward to Rough Night, and I have a certain soft spot for comedy movies. If a comedy movie can at least make me laugh, I will say it's a good movie. I like Sex Tape. Even though it's a bad movie, it still makes me laugh. So I was really looking forward to Rough Night, and did it pay off? Yeah. It really paid off. Rough Night, in my opinion, is the funniest movie since Bad Moms, which came out last summer, and I think a lot of the comedy does come from the writing, which I really liked. A lot of the comedic moments in this movie, despite having some gross out and shock value, I feel like they don't really use that as their only type of comedy. I feel like the writing and the quips and what they say is what really makes this movie funny. The whole cast, all 5 people, they all have their moment to shine, and all of them are extremely funny, and I feel like the 5 girls, their relationship together is what really sells this movie and a lot of the comedic points. And I feel like a lot of the writing has some more realistic, deeper emotions, especially between the characters of Scarlett Johansson and Jillian Bell. I can see their conflict and the relationship to be really realistic, and I've seen this actually happen in my life, so I can know this is real and I relate to it. And a lot of the actresses are really talented in this movie. Jillian Bell, who I'm not really a big fan of, I didn't really like her in The Night Before, especially off this Christmas Party, and I kind of liked her in 22 Jump Street. I'm not a big fan of her, but she did really surprise me in this because she didn't have her typical hatred, comedic tone, which she really does in all of her other roles, so it was kind of different, and I did find her kind of funny. But the real standout in this whole movie is Kate McKinnon. For some reason, she has this Australian accent. Her character, she became friends with Scarlett Johansson when they were studying abroad in Australia, and so she is kind of the outsider to this group, and so even though she just met all these 4 girls that night, she does blend really well with them, and I feel like Kate McKinnon had the most laugh out loud moment in this movie. Even though all of the actresses did have great roles, I feel like Zoe Kravitz and Ilana Glazer didn't really have that laugh out loud moment, something that really made them shine. They were funny, but I feel like they weren't as funny as Scarlett Johansson, Jillian Bell, or Kate McKinnon. But yeah, even though the comedy is what really makes this movie work, the other parts of the movie are not as strong. Now, just by describing the plot of this movie, in which they do kill a stripper, you can see that it has different tones. It has a nice girl party tone, and then also has a murder tone. And initially, when this happens in the movie, it does flow nicely, but I feel like I felt this nice tone because I knew it going in. If I did not know this part of the movie going in, it may have been a bit of a surprise to me and held me back, and I may not have liked it at first, but I feel like I would have gotten used to it. But the problem with this tone is the first 20 minutes goes as a girl bachelorette party. The next 40 minutes is they just killed a guy. Kind of dark. Then the next 10 minutes goes back to a girl bachelorette party, and they kind of forget about the dead body for a couple minutes, and for some reason I was not really interested in that part. I felt like it just detached from the movie and it was very slowed down, and during that 5-10 minutes I was a bit distracted and I wanted to get back to the dead body. And then 10 minutes later they do get back to the dead body, and then there's a quick 1 to 2 minute side plot with a car, which honestly wasn't that funny and out of place, and I feel like that didn't really fit in very well with it. But after that it does get back into the dead body storyline, and for the rest of the movie I did enjoy it. Another problem I have with this movie is that throughout the whole dead body storyline there is a side story with Scarlett Johansson's fiance who is calling the girls during this whole dead body scenario, and he freaks out thinking that something awful is happening with his marriage and the wedding, and so he runs down to Florida to try to save them. It has a good place in the movie. In the beginning, when the storyline just happened, the guy's bachelor party is very calm, cool, the complete opposite of the girls' party, which I really liked, and I thought that was really smart and flipped the genre cliches. What I didn't like is that when the girls were doing their storyline with the dead body, the movie kept on cutting back to the fiance, and while this was funny for some scenes, I felt like they just did it too much, and I did not want that. I wanted the dead body storyline, not the fiance coming to save them, even though it does pay off in the end. And my last problem I have about this movie, I don't think is something that is the movie's fault. I think this is more of my fault since I do see so many movies. Every plot point that comes in the last 40 to 30 minutes, I predicted the minute it happened on screen. Even though I do agree this is great foreshadowing, I just predicted it. It kind of felt like, I was right, even though I feel like for most audience members they won't catch on to this. I did predict it. It kind of bugged me, but I still enjoyed it when it did happen, and I was pleasantly pleased. But overall, I really liked Rough Night. I think it's a laugh riot. There's so many funny scenes, and all the actresses have their great comedic moments, some more than others. And I feel like this is a great directorial debut for the creators of Broad City, and I like how they have girls in non-conventional roles. Some of the plot points I did predict, and there's a small 15-minute period where the movie did slow down and didn't really become that funny, and tonally wasn't really well matched. But I feel like Rough Night really shines from the writing for having great comedic moments and also great character development. I was pleasantly surprised with Rough Night, and I can say that Rough Night is a good movie. So that's Rough Night. Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Wherever you think, you can comment below. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I won't. Thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't, you can see my last video right here, and maybe you can see this one. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be a good one. Thank you as always for watching. Hope to see you next time.